Hello South Asians. We are back with yet another episode of Faces in the Media, and we are in Bangladesh. Today, we're in the offices of the New Age, the second leading English newspaper. And we are going to talk to Mr. Nurul Kabir, one of the youngest editors of a newspaper in this country. So let us see what has Mr. Nurul Kabir to say about Bangladesh, about his paper, and as a whole, about South Asia. Mr. Nurul Kabir, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
So, what we are generally doing in this program is, first we introduce the editor and want to know why he is a journalist above everything else, especially in South Asia.
I'm a journalist by default. Default in the sense, I still believe that the first most important thing in life to do, particularly in a country like Bangladesh that we are born and live, is to do active politics in favor of the majority of the people. I mean, trying to democratize the society and the state. And those who cannot do that should go to journalism first, and third, at the least, should go to universities to teach. In the beginning of my student days, I was exposed to some noble ideas, thanks to some of my good teachers that I had come across. And I was exposed to some democratic ideas that made me convinced for the democratic emancipation of my own self, democratic emancipation of the people around me. Eventually, we have to work for emancipation of the people at large. So, although from a very selfish point of view, apparently, that I do want to emancipate myself, I do want to live in a society and state where I can try to flourish the human potentials, which is inherent in any human being, to its greatest height. I came to a conclusion, politically and philosophically, that it cannot be done out of one's own self. It has to be done at the social and political level. So when I was a young boy at the university, at that time we were exposed to, the whole country was exposed to martial law. So like many other boys and girls, I, from deliberate thinking, I joined that movement.
Right, because you've repeated the word democratization a couple of times in this few minutes.
Because we are unfortunately living in a society which has perpetually been striving for a democratic society, but on and often, I mean, sometimes unelected military rule, sometimes elected undemocratic set of people imposed a lot of unjust laws on us, the people. So for the people of this country, for the people at large, for them, it has always been a great political issue to democratize the society and the state. And since we had our student days, we had passed our student days under martial law, and we had taken to the street agitations, organizing study circles, trying to raise the political consciousness of the people.
In the brick bats of those days.
Those days, yeah, those street fighting days. So there was a second kind of training that we were exposed to. We began theoretically at the philosophical level, and we unfortunately or fortunately, we were exposed to in our heydays, movements, democratic movements against a military regime. Eventually we won. When I finished my student days, I thought what to do. Politics, that level of political culture that we had at that time, or even today that we are exposed to, I thought theoretically politics is the best thing for a nation, for the people, or even for one's own self. But perhaps this culture, existing culture, does permit me to be in the active politics. So I thought I should try to contribute in humble ways to change for positive the political culture itself, so that well-meaning people can eventually join politics. So there was no option but to join journalism.
So you chose the pen instead of the sticks.
Yeah. So that we can contribute to develop a good political culture in which well-meaning people in the days to come can join and contribute to the political development of our country. So then I became a journalist by choice.